We don't need a single mythic item to play Spirit Wave in Season 6. If you don't know how to do this, watch my previous video. If you do know how to do this, I'm here to tell you what changed between Season 5 and Season 6. The first is, there's a bunch of new variants. We've got No Tidal, Overpower Bloodwave, and Doggo Summoner? But before I get to the new variants, let me tell you what changed with the standard variants. So, in Season 5, we had a Blight version and a Trag'oul version. Blight was better for hordes. Trag'oul is better for pits because Bone Spirit blocks boss mechanics. In Season 6, pits are going to be more important in raids, and so we might end up using Path of Trag'oul more than the Blight version. Both of these are valid. Now the standard variant and all variants get a 70% damage buff. Here's the math. We don't need Harlequin Crest because Bloodwave now has multiple skill ranks. So at rank 5, we have a 41 second cooldown down from 50, and we get 6 blood orbs per wave up from 3. Meaning with Tidal, we get 18 blood orbs, so we can use this build while leveling. It'll just work as soon as we get a Blood Artisan's Cuirass. Also, Fast Blood went from 3.75 on a neck to 4.5. It's crazy. So we just refresh super easy. Harlequin Crest is still really good though. The Grandfather is now in the trash can on every build almost. Doombringer is no longer our top DPS item, even with this crazy health buff you're seeing other people run. It is still a fantastic option for tank, but in terms of pure damage, a legendary two-handed weapon will be the best because of these new tempers, and I hate them. So this just says you do 88% more damage with Bone Spirit. It's like having 2 aspects in a temper slot. It's so stupidly overpowered, and it really penalizes hybrid builds, and that's going to bite us in the ass later. And finally, we run our Rune Word in our two-handed weapon so that we can put intelligence gems in our armor rather than putting, crappy additive stuff in our weapon. In terms of mythics that are useful, grab one of these helmets, I don't know which one, Starless Skies, and Doombringer is still a good tank item. But you don't need any of these are all optional. Runes are new, so here's a quick primer. Zan is the best rune ever. Since we're casting Bloodwave like 1 to 2 times a second, this offering generation is the highest in the game. These are other options. We like the 20% health spender, the Zan Rune, because health basically turns into damage for us. So this is just 20% more damage. And then Vex is a pretty good option. There's a couple other ones, and we'll get to them later, but Vex is good. Since you're all new to Vessel of Hatred, including myself, I saw that Strongholds give you a blue rune the first time you clear them. So run your Strongholds, grab Zan, grab a Gar to fix your crit cap immediately, grab Meteorites because they just sound fun, and they were recently buffed to 260% weapon damage, or just start being a Doggo Summoner just for fun. Just do it. It's hilarious. Now, back to the builds. I'm going to start with No Tidal for the variants. The reason we can run No Tidal is that now that Bloodwave summons 6 orbs and we can cool down our Bloodwave in just 3 orbs, we have the option of dropping Tidal to gain another 45% damage aspect. Possibly. There's a major flaw here that might have been fixed, might not have been fixed. You see, Gorquils has a casting delay. So when you go to cast a Blood Lance, it takes like half a second for the Gorquils to get consumed. So if I cast a Blood Lance, I might have to wait like an extra, 0.3 seconds before I can Blood Wave. And that's like a huge damage loss. However, I noticed when casting Blood Wave during the PTR that one Blood Orb happened to spawn in range of my character and it would just automatically get consumed. And if that works, that would circumvent the problem with gore quills. And so if every time we cast a blood wave, if we auto-consume one orb, we don't have to worry about the gore quill's delay, and we can just completely run no Tidal. And remember, we have to do this in only 3 blood orbs, not 6. Because it takes 1.5 seconds for all 6 of these blood orbs to spawn. We need to build up orbs on the floor so that we're not time gated by the spawn time of blood orbs, so that we can pull blood orbs from different blood wave casts. That's no Tidal. This is the Overpower blood wave version. Basically, we keep Tidal. In fact, we put it on a 2-handed weapon, and we make it do billions of damage. Both Lord Sara and Ruse Cruz from Goblin Inc. have made videos on Overpower blood wave, but you'll notice that they cast a blood wave about every 1.5 seconds, or 0.66 blood waves per second. Unlike Spirit Wave, which can put an Overpower blood wave using Rathma's Vigor 1.5 times a second. So we just double the amount of overpowered blood waves we can put out. Now our waves will do about 60% of the damage, but we will be doing twice as many. So we may end up doing like 20 to 30% more damage than the Overpower blood waves we've been seeing on the PTR. Obviously, we're just going to, slap blood waves, deal double damage, Blood Moon Breaches, and Bloodbath. Here's where you can see why I freaking hate these tempers. We have to give up 88% Bone Spirit damage just because of this temper. And it's so freaking dumb. So that drops our blood wave or our Bone Spirit damage by total by 85%. It's so dumb. I hate these tempers. We can get around it a little bit by using Doombringer. And Doombringer and moving Tidal to our neck. And this would drop our blood wave damage by like half. But Doombringer, does benefit blood wave because of the health increases overpower damage. So we lose like half to 60% of the blood wave damage to double the amount of Bone Spirit damage. So it's not great. And it does boost our Bloodlance damage, but not by a lot, because none of the Rathma's Vigors will actually go towards the Bloodlance. We don't want that. But we're going to have like Tides of Blood. So I don't know. It's interesting, and it's mostly just about making Blood Wave do more damage. So if you want to just mix it up and make your Blood Waves do a bajillion damage, you can just slap on a 2-hander, change a couple Paragon points, and go nuts. I'll have a build at some point in the description. Now here's the silly thing. And this should come with a million disclaimers and asterisks. A lot of this doesn't work right now. In fact, during the fireside chat, Blizzard expressly talked about wolves counting as minions and not working properly. So I'm going to share the Twitch clip in the description if you want to see it for yourself. Parts of this don't work. Some content creators say it works, but they didn't test it. We have people who tested it in the game mechanic specialists. So, what's going on here is that Callan's Edict got a huge buff. Now you get 3% more minion damage per minion. Cult Leader got a buff. Both of them now apply to Ring of Mindalin. And using Zan and the Ke rune, we can summon 3 wolves a second for 24 wolves. If these counted as minions and could proc Ring of Mindalin, and everything just worked, this would be an S+ tier build right now using Spirit Wave as the template. And the reason Spirit Wave can do this so well is the amount of offering we can generate. I don't think any other build can generate 300 offering per second. It's actually like 100 or 220 offering per second on average, but 300 offering per second, 3 wolves a second. We're just going to go with that. This would give us 35 total minions for Callan's Edict and 35 minions to proc Ring of Mendeln. And when this eventually works, it's going to be an amazing build. Right now, though, we know the wolves don't count for Callan's Edict. CTOD did testing of this. So if you see people saying, oh, it works, and it's pre-release content, they didn't do their testing correctly. We know the wolves, we think the minions count towards Requiem. No one in GMS tested it, but someone in my chat did, and that could give us like 800 max essence, which could be interesting for ossified essence. And if the wolves, even if they don't count as minions for Callan's Edict, if they can proc Ring of Mendeln, and the Ring of Mendeln procs benefits from Callan's Edict and Cult Leader, then this is going to be an A tier build, and it's going to be so fun to run. It's going to be absolute chaos with blood, bone, and minions everywhere. This is the build I want to run the most, and even if the Callan's Edict doesn't work, if the Ring of Mendeln works with the wolves, I'm running this build. I'm tired of being a sorceress in black makeup with no minions. Give me my minions. Let's go nuts. And even if the wolves don't work, because Zan can still produce so much offering per second, we can run meteorites or something, right? So with 300 offering per second, we get 15 meteorites for 4,000% weapon damage per second for just more chaos on the screen. And that's just going to look hilarious. And if at any point any of these runes that benefit, like do damage based on offering, get overpowered, we're going to be the best position to exploit them because of how much offering per second we can generate with Zan. So try everything out, use Zan to power any crazy glyph, and maybe we'll find a new meta. I'm going to be discussing this build in the official Diablo Discord. That's where I answer most of my questions. I have a custom channel called Spirit Wave where people, ask questions all the time. So even though I've been like really sick for a month and had to like completely stop making videos, I've just been answering questions there. So come join the Discord, learn stuff, get free boss carries, and make friends. I'm a game mechanic specialist there. It's a custom role for content creators and people who know their shit, and it's a lot of fun. Join up, have fun, like, subscribe, or whatever you want to do, and have a great day.